this is Zoom. Touch up my appearance. Full max right there. And portrait lighting on. I don't know why it's so zoomed in on my face. That's really concerning. Anyway, I have class to get to. I was just playing around. I need to look good.
So yeah, just remember that. Open a new tab, log in, come back, click on the. This means stuff you have to read through, videos you have to watch in your weekly online classrooms. You'll usually have a quiz to just verify that you've read through all the content. You sometimes will have journals where you're responding.
This is my first kind of one-on-one talking video in the new year. I usually don't do many of these because I feel like I don't really know what to say. I kind of let the visuals do more of the talking, but I kind of wrote down a little bit of points on what I should talk about, so then I'm not rambling on. So let's do a quick little recap. I don't know if you saw my second last video, but I did go to New York City. It was a road trip. I got to see family as well as go to Barnes & Noble's, which was absolutely beautiful with is it 3 or 4 floors? I think it's 4 floors, but I was really excited. Such a beautiful place. I got a puzzle and I got the first book that started my reading journey, which was On the Fence by Casey West. Casey West was the reason I got into loving romance books. I don't know I don't think On the Fence was the first one I read, but it definitely was the first one that made me love romance and want to dive deeper into the genre. So I finally got the book. I've wanted the book forever because the first time I read it was at the library and I really wanted to have it in my collection, so now I do. I saw these candles and I've seen the candles on TikTok. I wanted to get one so bad. One had something to do with like spicy books, and I think another one had to do with fantasy, but I didn't get it because I was also trying to get gifts for my friends because it was Christmas and one of them had a birthday coming up, so I just didn't get it, and I was like, let me save money. I hate when that happens. Anyway, I didn't get it. Hopefully next time, whenever I go back to the US, I can find it and actually commit on getting it. I wish I did. Anyway, let's talk about one of the points, which is the puzzle. So this puzzle I got. This is not my first ever puzzle. I did get one for, I believe, my birthday from my grandmother, but technically I didn't finish it. And specifically with this puzzle, it is, of course, one of my interests, which is romance books. So I was able to basically finish it in 2 days. So the clips that you saw in the last video, if you want to check that out, please do. I'm like very happy that I got the shots that I wanted, and also finished the puzzle, which was crazy. I was basically, day 2, I was working on it, and I was just watching Game of Thrones, which I also finished, and enjoyed that TV show so much. Might be my favorite TV show of all time. I don't know yet. I don't know. Last season was really disappointing. I'm not going to talk about that. I'll talk about that maybe later. Okay. Anyway, the puzzle. The first day, I felt a little bit discouraged because I was like, am I really going to finish this? Am I really going to get this done? So the first day I was watching Dance Moms. So it made it a little bit easier to finish the puzzle when you have something playing in the background. Other entertainment than just you doing a puzzle. So that's the main reason why I got the puzzle, to be honest, is so then I have something to do while I'm watching something. So day 2, it was Game of Thrones. I was able to finish Game of Thrones, but also finish the puzzle. And I was so, encaptured by the TV show that I didn't even realize that I was almost done. I was a good 75% done the puzzle, and I'm here looking at it, and I'm like, I might as well just keep going. Why not? I think I finished it around 10 p.m. Anyway, I was so happy to finish it. My mom did the last piece, and that is my first completed puzzle, which I'm very proud of. Right now, it's sitting here on the ground next to me. I bought puzzle glue, which I don't know when is coming in, hopefully today, but I'm gonna obviously glue that all together. I don't know if I'm gonna frame it. 1, frames are really expensive, and 2, I don't know where I'm gonna put it on my wall. As you can see, my wall is filled with a lot of prints, so I don't know where I would frame it anyway. I don't know what I'm gonna do. All I want to do right now is glue it so then it doesn't fall off or anything like that. So that's kind of the little journey with the puzzle. Nothing too interesting. Next on the list, should I go into Game of Thrones, I guess? Game of Thrones, I really, really enjoyed. Loved it. As someone who wants to become a filmmaker, I enjoyed the shots. I enjoyed the storyline. I enjoyed the editing, the coloring of the film. Everything was just so beautifully done. And then I get to the last season. Actually, No. Then I get to season 7, which, if I'm right, is when Daenerys Targaryen, Dany, if you want, gets to, listen, I'm not very good with the lore of Game of Thrones. I'm not very good at the names of each place, so forgive me. She gets to, I don't think is it called Dragonstone? I have no clue. She finally gets to the north, okay? She gets to the north. And it's like this girl completely changed. I wonder if I'm crazy. It feels like now she feels more entitled and more like, I'm better than all of you. And I'm like, girl, humble yourself. Like, when she's meeting at the time the King of the North, it's like, she's just so, like, she's just so entitled, and I'm hating it, because I'm like, give this man some respect. I know that you don't know him, but we've been through his story since the very beginning, and we're seeing him grow. I honestly love his character, because his character development is, like, so beautiful and, like, so well told. But then you have Daenerys coming in, and it's like he's just being constantly, like, degraded. To be honest, he's been degraded throughout the whole show, but I'm just saying, it felt really weird. And I was so excited for them to meet. I didn't expect them, I'm so sorry, this might be spoilers, but, like, I didn't expect them to get together. Like, I don't know if I loved it, I don't know if I hated it. I wish that they talked more also about the mother. What I mean by this is, in season 8, we get so much push on the father's influence on the kids. We're just gonna ignore the fact that y'all also had a mother and an older brother. Also, their death, listen, when it happened, I was really mad. After, I was like, you know what? Valid. like, because to me, I feel like, again, I don't know the lore, I can't remember names, but the older brother, when he ends up meeting this girl, they get married. I'm like, we're in the middle of a war. Your men are fighting for you. They're not going off to see their wives. They're not going off. Like, what are you doing? It's like I couldn't be bothered to actually care and to get really, really upset about it. Because I was like, you know what? He was distracted. It's like, you're in the middle of a war. You need a strategy. You need to have a level head. Yet you're here getting distracted by some girl. For us, we're seeing it in a span of just a couple minutes, but for the characters, it's like months. Do you know what I mean? Like, the guy and the girl, I think, were just known each other for months on months. But for us, it was only a couple of minutes. So that's why, to me, anytime I would see the love interests, I would be so confused. I'd be like, guys, didn't y'all just meet? Like, huh? Anyway, so that was always lost on me. That was it. I still loved the show, though. Again, like, loved the show. I think if I was gonna rate it, maybe like 4 stars, 4.5. Not a full 5 because of all of the stuff that I just said that really annoyed me. But yeah. Anyway, next talking point. I guess we could go on to the start of the new year. I spent it reading. Yup. I made a list of the first things that I did in the new year. I don't know why. Because technically a lot that the stuff on the list I didn't do specifically on January 1st. It was just the first week basically of the new year. So I made a list because next year I guess I want to try and remember what I did because I have a memory of a goldfish. So yeah. But anyway, start of the new year, we come back to school. I'm in my second year of university, and I just feel so out of it. In one of my classes, we are doing alt films. I'm currently editing 2 of them. It's not going too bad. We have to do some reshoots, so I'm waiting for all those shots to come in so then I could edit them, because we have our rough cuts due next week. And I'm getting a little nervous because I'm not gonna lie, I'm still working on editing and figuring out how to do certain stuff and certain techniques, especially in alt. It's alternative film is just basically film that isn't a linear story. In my opinion, it's basically you could do whatever you want, but of course there still has to be symbolism to it. So one of the alt films that I'm doing, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of effects added to it that I'm a little nervous about, because I'm not used to making films that have effects and have like these crazy things going on. So I want to make sure that that story is still being shown. Maybe I'll end up posting it on here and you guys can check it out and maybe give some feedback. But yeah, I'm a little nervous for that, but also excited because 2 alt films and 2 doc films I've edited, so that's perfect for my portfolio if I want to become an editor. Next talking point. Okay, the journal. I have been journaling since summer? Yes. Yep. July 2024. I've started journaling, and I've shown a couple of clips on my channel. However, I'm still working on trying to make it more me and make it also aesthetically pleasing. I'll still be posting stuff like that. I have posted some on my Instagram if you want to check that out. But I'm trying to like journal a lot, write it in my diary as well, because again, memory of a goldfish. I've gotten a new printer, which is like an Ivy, I think it's called Ivy printer that prints out like colored photo. I am so happy with that purchase. However, it's also really annoying because the sheets, the printing, the adhesive paper, I don't know what it's called, the pages that you have to print, you know what I mean. With those, they only come in packs of 10. The ones I've bought, it only came in packs of 10, and only 10 can fit in the printer. So I just think it is gonna cost a lot for me to continue to get more paper. That's just the downside of it, but of course that's how printers work. But honestly, I don't regret the purchase. If you are thinking of buying a portable colored printer, I'd probably suggest that one. There are others on Amazon, that's where I got it. But that one kind of just stood out to me because it was in the decent price range, and it did what I needed it to do, which was print out colored photos. And now we're going to move on to my books and my current reads. It's the start of the year. I haven't finished a book. I've only started a book. An audiobook, to be precise, called Lights Out. I'm going to be real with you. Dark romance, for me, is difficult for me to read sometimes. This isn't. Let me jump on that. This book, Lights Out, it is surprisingly really fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's very different from the dark romances that I've read in the past. I'm not going to name names. I just think there are some dark romances that I can't get into. But the book that got me back into enjoying them, because at first I did enjoy them, and then there was a certain book that I read where I was like, oh, we're going backwards. We're not doing that. So I took a break, and then I got back. Butcher and Blackbird. Butcher and Blackbird was such an enjoyable book. I loved it. That is how I want some dark romances, like maybe majority dark romances, to be like. I prefer the dark romance that is, how do I put this, consensual, that both parties want to join in on the fun, okay? And this book is reminding me of Butcher and Blackbird. I'm having fun. That is all I want from a book, if I'm being honest with you. Specifically with a dark romance, I want to have fun. I want to feel like the characters want to be there, want to be in that situation. But I feel like with this book, the author does dive deep into it, so there's a list of trigger warnings. Please do read them if you are going to read the book. I got to listen to them. Listening to dark romance is really fun, I have to admit. I think I'd rather listen to it than read it, because the voice actors, thank you for your service, because very much enjoying hearing y'all's voice and bringing the characters to life and doing them justice. Appreciate that so much. Anyway, that is the book that I picked up. I kind of just wanted to quickly talk about Lights Out because I'm enjoying it. Anyway, for now, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. That's what I want from a book. So, let's get back to the video.